talk about that.
Yeah.
Popeyes. I want a Popeyes chicken sandwich on God.
Am I gonna get in trouble
They're
for
so
showing
good.
Popeyes?
No.
That's the most Kim sentence ever.
All right.
Am I gonna get in trouble
I'm
for
gonna do
showing
the intro
Popeyes?
now. 3. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Morning Breath podcast. I'm your host, Adalyn Clark from WoHo fame, and today we're joined by Ryan, Wade.
Howdy.
We're joined by Isaac, and
Dub.
we're joined by Kim. Now, I'm gonna drink my coffee, and you guys can start.
So, that whole ghost funeral thing, huh?
Oh boy, that whole ghost funeral thing.
God.
Jesus Christ, how? What goes through your mind to think, I'll,
Just stealing MP3 files.
stealing MP3, what goes through your mind to think, okay, I can't make good music, so instead of just making music and trying to get better, you think, oh, I will literally steal the MP3s from these other bands that I somehow found.
It's not even like they proceeded to, the standard music theft would be to just cover the songs and then upload them without credit or something. But they literally just went, okay, I'm gonna download these songs.
Bandcamp to MP3.
Bandcamp to
Bandcamp to
MP3,
MP3.
or if they were like a free download, they downloaded them and then went to DistroKid. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I think the biggest takeaway from this is now the Mapleway, the Mapleway significantly split that came out in at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That has a Plunderphonics tag on Rate Your Music now.
Oh boy.
Doing my homie Elliot dirty.
Yeah, it sucks that this whole thing broke Mapleway up.
Yeah, because they just couldn't handle it. They were like, done. No.
Yeah. The only good thing about this is that the only good thing that came out of this whole situation is now we know that the Planet U exists.
Fact.
And they're a great band.
Yeah, you can listen to the music that they stole and support the artists without supporting Ghost Funeral.
Ghost Funeral. My favorite band. My favorite
band full of musicians who make music.
Ah, yes, my favorite virtual
They make
band.
Plunderphonics. They're my favorite Plunderphonics
I love
artists.
Gorillas.
They're my
Hatsune
favorite.
Miku.
They're
It's
my
like
favorite Plunderphonics.
It's like
band.
if Gorillas existed, except instead of Damon Albarn masterminding it, a Blur fan just downloaded Blur songs and made some animations, and then made a
Blur
digital
AMVs.
band.
Yeah, Gorillas is just Blur AMVs.
Yeah, Gorillas is Blur AMV.
It's kind of facts.
Ghost Funeral, 0 out of 10.
Scummy thing.
Yeah.
Fuck you out
I
of 10.
didn't even listen. I'm
me
gonna
neither.
be full transparent.
I always
didn't
knew
even
Ghost
listen.
Funeral existed.
I wish I didn't listen. I wish I wasn't duped by this fucking bitch.
Yeah, it's the same thing as whenever an artist has a lot of hype. I'm a little bit weary. And this is the same reason with the next artist we'll be talking about, Fax Gang, and their record A Internet.
Oh,
Okay.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It
Can I
was
get
really
this out
good.
Let me just get this out of the way
Addy,
real
Addy,
fast.
start this. Addy,
Let me
start
get
this.
this out of
Go
the
on.
way because I'm not going to be talking about them anymore after this, but they ruined my day. Okay. I was already scared to listen to Fax Gang because, they're signed to Avanades, the same label as Avanade. They're getting a lot of hype around them, and whenever Twitter hypes up these new acts, it always scares me. And so I went into this not knowing anything other than they're signed to no agreements. And oh my goodness, it just plummeted my mood down to I wanted to cry.
Man.
It ruined my day.
I find it so funny
I'm
how
not talking
whenever
about them anymore.
I find it so funny how whenever Addy started listening to it, They said, I'm going to describe this album and my experience listening to it with only The Office skits.
With only The
And
Office.
all of them were either that one thing of him, like, doing the face, or it was just him crying.
Yeah, it was all
Abby
just
just
pain.
was not happy.
I just went to the
Pain.
Finder and looked up Office sad. And it was not a good time. But
Yeah.
everybody else go on now.
I'll go
stay
next.
over here.
See, the album actually wasn't that bad. I think the album started off with a 3 out of 10 god-awful song in Anything to Gain, but the rest of the album went from, like, 6 out of 10 to, in the last 2 songs, in my opinion, 10 out of 10. But for the most part, I think the album was a mixed bag. It just really, for the most part, wasn't actually my style. It's like Drain Gang, but filtered through a Bit Crusher, and it just wasn't for me.
Drain gaze.
And I just, like, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah. Fine record. I'm probably not going to return to it.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll go next then. Spoiler alert. This is my album of the month, pretty much.
Based.
Like, so far, this is my album of the year because, like, you know, there's only been 1 month.
Yeah.
Like what you said about like Drain Gang, like Bit Crushed or whatever. I've honestly, like, I love the Bit Crush sound of it. Like, the atmosphere is what really just carries it for me. It can get a little bit repetitive, I do have to admit, but
Yeah.
I feel like the atmosphere is just hypnotic enough to where, like, I just really get lost in it.
Yeah.
And like the few moments where I can hear like a melody under the haze of low bitness,
Yeah.
like it can be really catchy.
Yeah. Now, I'm very much one for dreary, drony atmospheres and, like, melodies lost in beneath the wall of sound. I'm very big on that, and I'll make that completely clear. But for whatever reason, this record just didn't really gel for me that much. Maybe it'll take a couple more listens to actually gel with me. But it just sounded really derivative of, like, Blade. But they just made it worse in, like, every way.
I actually haven't listened to Blade yet.
L. Bad move.
Yeah, it just
You
kind
said
of
it again.
it reminded me of Drain Gang, except they took it's like imagine if Ghost Funeral downloaded Drain Gang music.
Shut up.
And then what they did to make it different was they just added horrible stock Bit Crush to like a Drain Gang.
Okay.
That's what it
At
sounded
least
like
They would
to
have made
me.
it different.
Yeah, you're right. But that's
And
if Ghost Funeral did something to make it different.
And I do really love Bit Crusher. I love Bit Crusher, but come on, man. Like, you just went into, like, GarageBand Mobile and just used the stock Bit Crusher, like, thing.
I mean, I doubt that was what they did.
It sounds
it's
like
definitely not what they did. Like,
It
I'm sure
sounds
they
like
worked
it.
on it very hard.
Yeah.
But
It
I
sounds
can't
like
tell because
I
it's
can't
like
tell.
it just sounds like they drowned all of their hard work. And
Yeah.
what do
Now,
you
Kim,
think?
you
Kim?
go.
I think it made my ears hurt, but in a good way.
I respect that.
Isaac
Happened to me
talking about
with
Mirror's
Roundup.
Mirror.
Yeah, factual.
So true.
So true.
That is factual. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, Kim, what rating did you give it?
I gave
Yeah.
it an 8.5. It was. I really
Let's
liked
go.
it. I was vibing.
Same.
Base.
My friend described it like as if Drain Gang made shoegaze and just ran it through
Yeah.
a Bit Crusher.
Don't.
It did
don't
kinda
call that
remind-
You're
shoegaze.
It
you're
did kinda
contractually
remind me
obligated
of
to say Drain
shoegaze.
Gaze.
In the way
You guys.
where, where like, you know, it's very much just a wall of sound. The vocals
And I
are
love
hidden. Everything's kind of hidden, except the difference is it wasn't like drowning in distortion and reverb. It was just drowning in bit.
Yeah.
Bit Crush
if
is kind of
they-
distortion.
For
Different
me,
type
if
of
they replaced that Bit Crush with, like, some reverse reverb and some distortion, I would have given the record, like, a 9.
I would have
But
not.
the fact that
We
they just ruined it with putting a bunch of Bit Crush, just no.
I really think that they could have had something great going, except
Yeah,
they needed to be Hex D.
yeah. And I hate that
We
genre.
do-
I
we-
hate that genre name. I'm not even gonna lie. That's an awful genre name.
What's up? My
I
name
will
is
admit,
Hex
we do
D.
need more like hip hop shoegaze. That
True.
does need to be more of a thing.
On God.
Yeah, I think Dalek did it back in the 2000s.
I
but other
will
than that,
be
I don't really
hip-hop
know.
shoegaze.
Like the closest thing I've heard is like Cloud Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of Cloud Dead.
Listen to some Dalek. They were really influenced by My Bloody Valentine to an extent,
Oh, interesting.
and they got like a lot of dreary atmospheres, but it's also really hitting. Like a picture like Run the Jewels filtered through like reverb.
Jesus
It's that
Christ.
simple.
Back at it like a
Back
crack
at it like a crack at
Like
it.
a crack, get it.
God, that song is so good.
It's
So good. All right,
Dri-
now
like-
talking about. Oh, no, continue.
Oh, little side tangent. One time, my friend Matthew came by to pick me up so we could go to the Wendy's to get fries because I wanted Wendy's fries. And we pull into Wendy's, blasting that song at full blast while we pull up to the drive-thru, and it was great.
That sounds like the whitest thing
Yeah,
ever.
we're
Whitest,
both
just white
both
people.
pasty.
Well,
So
at least like Run the Jewels, like at least LP is.
Yeah,
you know.
I can. I have an it's
least-
an exception because LP.
Facts.
At least it's not pulling up like blasting like X Gonna Give It To You or something.
No, exactly.
That'd be
So,
hilarious. Like,
are we gonna do?
yeah. Let's
Closing
talk about an
thoughts?
album. Yeah, closing thoughts.
Closing
okay.
thoughts. I gave it a 25 out of 100, 2.5 out of 10.
You give
Never-
it 25 out of 10? No way.
I'm
No
never
way.
touching Fax Gang again.
Yeah.
I've
me-
given them a chance, and they're never getting another one from me. You'll never hear me talk about them again.
For me, 6.5 out of 10. Maybe I'll return to like the last two songs because I thought those were just straight up bangers. But for the most part, the record was kind of just forgettable, actually. Like, the record didn't make that much of an impact on me. I can't remember most of the actual songs. If you look at my notes I took, most of the songs notes I had were just like, yeah, this is like Drain Gang, but Bit Crush. Most of them was just that. So the record didn't make that much of an impact on me. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 because it was a fine record, but didn't do much for me. Now on to you, Ryan. What's your thought?
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. It's currently my album of the year, but I feel like that will probably change.
I mean, yeah, it's January.
Yeah,
Duh.
yeah. I like the atmosphere and the like some of the melodies when you can hear them, but I like that you can't hear them a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I gave
What
it
about
a
you, Kim?
8.5 out of 10. Same with Ryan. I just really like how trapped I was in the sound, and I haven't heard much like that in a while.
Now, talking about album of the year, I'm gonna go on to my album of the year so far. Billy Cobb's The Bear album. Okay, now let me give you a rundown. Flashback to 2019. I was in a Weezer phase in like summer 2019, and I searched up Weezer unreleased demos because that's how much of a loser I was. And I found something called Zerwi. And I listened to it and I really enjoyed it. So I subscribed to this guy's YouTube channel. I watched some of his videos. He made like Weezer related content and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I found out he made more original music and he dropped a record called The Boro, which was it's an EP, but it's an amazing EP for what it is. It's 4 songs, but it's like just straight like emo-ish. Very like just emo. And it's
Yeah,
very
like noise
good.
pop, emo pop stuff.
Yeah, noise pop, emo
Power
pop.
pop
It sounds
shit.
really good. And then 2020 was probably his worst year. He realized he tried to take quantity over quality, and it just didn't work. He would release like 2 EPs in 2 months, and they would both just be garbage. And right before the Bear album, like a month before the Bear album, he released a record called Eat Trash Be Free, which was probably my second album, like worst album of the year of 2020. I hated it because it was garbage. But then I found out he released a record called the Bear album, and I thought the cover looked cool, and I listened to it, and it blew me away. It's 8 songs, and all the songs just like mix like emo noise pop, like Bright Eyes folky type shit, and like duster slowcore type stuff. And it just works out perfectly in my ears. I think there's no bad songs on it. And it's just like a very, very, very good album, and I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Billy Cobb. I wasn't gonna listen to this
Yeah.
one.
I listened.
Go on,
Okay,
Daddy.
who's going first?
Addy.
Oh, I guess I can, because I don't have as many words as Isaac. So,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to listen to this one because I listen, Billy Cobb has always been the funny novelty Weezer guy for me, and I never took him seriously. And so I was, he released a new album. I was like, funny Weezer guy released a new album. Okay, I'm not listening to that. But, we know I listened to Fax Gang first, and I had realized, oh boy, I really need something else to listen to. And so I listened to Billy Cobb, and it was very okay. It was very passable. I gave it a 7. I thought the songwriting was very good, very solid songwriting. I liked how DIY it sounded. I can tell every single stock Logic sound, and I could probably tell you what it was if you gave me enough time without even going into Logic to find it. It's very DIY, very, very rough though, and I think that if he would have spent more time on refining how it sounded before releasing it, because like Isaac said, releases a lot of shit. If he were to spend more time and like hone in on the Bear album instead of very very much obviously feels like he recorded it in a month. He wrote and recorded it in a short amount of time. And I guess there's some charm to that, but I think some little nitpicks I have here and there. That fucking snare, bro. That fucking snare. There's no reason it needs to be that loud, and there's no reason that it needs to be that punchy. Just scoop some mids out of that snare, turn it down a bit, and then I'd enjoy the album not really much more. It would just make the listening experience a little bit pleasant. But yeah, it was very, very okay. Songwriting was good. I thought whenever it got more into the rockier side of things, that's when it started to lose me, because I liked the folky shit a lot. But then whenever the electric guitars came in mixed with the drums, the crash cymbals, and sometimes the hi-hats and toms were bit crushed. And we know that I didn't need that. We know I didn't fucking need that. And so maybe that did take my enjoyment, getting war flashbacks hearing the bit crush tom fill. But yeah, very, very, very serviceable. And I'm probably still not going to be following Billy Cobb's journey to music, because he still is funny Weezer guy to me. But it was an okay listen.
Now, what about you, Ryan? What about you?
Yeah, with Billy Cobb's pretty much been I've not really thought of him as funny Weezer guy, but I've always thought of him as kind of trapped in that niche of having to sound like Weezer. So while his string of releases in 2020 were not good, mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
I respected him for trying to break out of his comfort zone and find new things to do, and I feel like Bear album is him actually succeeding at that. There's a lot. It doesn't have a consistent style to it, but it definitely shows a lot more potential to where Billy could be going in the future.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me find my notes about it. I wrote it down somewhere.
You guys wrote notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
take
wrote
notes.
track notes. I wrote track ratings and track notes, because that's just what I do.
But yeah, I can very clearly hear certain very strong influences on certain songs, like that one indie-tronica-ish song that sounded like the Strokes and Jimmy Eat World, kinda.
Yeah.
Bass.
I don't know. That might be just and that one shoegaze song definitely sounded like a Duster song. But I like that he's both branching out and also sticking to his kind of emo-ish style that he's kind of barely carved out for himself.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited to see where he goes with this, unless he releases a comedy rap EP again.
If that happens, I'm just giving up.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty good album. Don't fuck it up, Billy. if you're watching. I know you are.
Yeah,
Probably
Billy.
are. We're
Yeah.
gonna put Billy in the thumbnail and in
Yeah,
the
we're
title.
gonna put.
Let's put Billy Cobb in the title and thumbnail.
Let's
No, what you
have
should do
all
when,
the
when
tags.
promoting, we should just add all the artists that we've talked about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Like, what
Except
if Weezer
Facts
just
Gang.
comes
I don't
on?
want them to hear my.
Yeah.
No, I want Facts Gang. I want you to hear it. I want you to know
I
that
want
you
to
ruined
hear
my
it,
day.
Facts Gang.
Addy will beat up PK Shellboy.
What did you think,
Now, have
Kim?
you heard it, Kim? Yeah,
I
did
haven't
you
heard the
hear
new
it?
Billy Cobb record.
No. Okay, well, you're not really missing out on
Ah!
too much. It's good.
Okay, yeah.
But
Okay, now
I
ta-
do
now-
know that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, continue.
I do know that, like, from passing, hearing his songs, like, his chat and stuff, there is, like, that sound that you could tell it's already him. Like,
Yeah.
there's that signature. And, yeah, I just really like how, noticeable, like, his sound is when it comes to, like, that emo, influence that he basically carved himself from. And Weezer, basically. I still know him as Funny Weezer Guy, but I am really like, I do really like his music. It's pretty good.
Based.
All right.
Speaking of Weezer,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Speaking of Weezer,
Okay,
okay,
human.
human.
Let's go. Weezer time. I
Okay.
can talk about this one.
Okay, I'll start this. I'll start this. Okay, I'm just gonna start it off with my album rating. Okay, I give it a 5 out of 10. I give it a 5 out of
Yikes.
10.
Yikes.
Ouch.
The album was full to the brim with mid-ass, like, baroque pop songs, and the record packed no punch, and it just sounded, half the song sounded like Pacific Daydream-esque Weezer. Numbers, Grapes of Wrath, especially
No.
Grapes of Wrath, and
No.
Bird with the Broken Wing. They all sounded
No.
like
That's the best
Pacific
song,
era.
bro.
They all sounded like Pacific Daydream era Weezer.
No.
Levels of
I think
mid.
we listened to the wrong
No.
fucking album, because god
No.
damn it, new Weezer
No.
was so goddamn good. I don't like Weezer like that, okay? We know I don't like Weezer like that, but this one was so fucking good. It was corny as hell, okay? First half
Yeah.
specifically,
It was.
track 1 through 6, cornball. Like, Rivers Cuomo's writing from the perspective of a 14-year-old. Like, that shit's so corny, but I feel like it's
it's
kind of...
endearingly corny.
Yeah, it's endearing. Like, we needed
Yeah.
some corny fun.
I get that.
And some corny, some nice corny string sounds with some guitar. And I didn't like how each song just kind of melded together. Because whenever I was listening to it, I wasn't looking at the track list 24/7, so I really couldn't tell when each song started and the last one ended. They all just kind of blended. But the second half, though, that second half was killer, and it bumped it up from like a 5 to an 8. Because the second half with the Bird Broken Wing song, that one was so good. And the hook on that one was nuts. Everything from that song onward was so fun.
Most of the tracks on that song and afterwards just felt kind of mid to me, and they didn't really resonate with me. Like, I see the appeal of Dead Roses and Here Comes the Rain, and Labria Tar Pits is actually like an 8 out of 10. I really dig the mellowed out feel of the song. But Here Comes the Rain and Dead Roses, I gave them 6s, like, song-wise, because they just didn't do that much for me. They kind of just were there. Those songs in specific. But,
Let's talk about Playing My
yeah, what about
Piano,
you,
though.
Ryan? Oh,
That's an alright song.
Playing My
I gave
Piano
Playing
is
My Piano a
hilarious.
1 out of fucking 10.
That's one of my favorites, though. Like, it's
I hate
corny
it.
as hell, and it's, like, kind of bad. But I loved it. Like,
Only time you'll ever catch Addy saying it's bad, but yeah, it's good. That's like the
But
point of
No,
it.
you don't
I
get it.
initi-
It's supposed to be corny.
whenever I listened to it, my initial reaction was, damn, this is kind of trash. I love it. Dude,
All right.
somebody called the cops!
I'm sorry, I think that was from me.
No, you're okay.
Now, what
Speaking
about
of which, Kim, what did you think of Weezer?
I thought it was bad, but in a good way.
Oh, let's go.
Can we just
This is
talk
trash,
about
but I
like
kinda
holy
like it.
crap? Like
Oh,
Alu Gobi was basically like, oh wait, sorry, no, Grapes of Wrath was basically like an Audible sponsorship.
It was literally just an Audible sponsorship. It was so funny. I got my grapes of wrath.
Gonna rock my Audible.
Yeah,
Who says rock my Audible?
Reverse Cuomo,
yeah,
apparently.
I'm gonna rock out to this audiobook.
Dude, I bet
Who
he
says
got
they're gonna
a
headphone
big fat
something?
check for that from Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up my devil horns while listening to The Catcher in the Rye in my audiobook.
He wouldn't listen to the catch.
Oh yeah, this bit slaps. And also, let's not forget, River says memes and Blackpink within the
Yeah.
same
Oh yeah,
sentence.
he did.
It's that didn't make me happy.
It's
The
like if
Screens
AJR
was
was a
just-
boomer band.
Screens wasn't actually that bad of a song.
It
I
does
see
sound
get
kind
hate.
of like AJR.
It
That's what I
does,
was-
right?
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking when I heard the first, I heard the single. It's like the strings kicked in, and I'm like, damn, Rivers Cuomo was on an AJR song, and this sounds like it would be an AJR song. But I didn't like it.
I'm lucky. Like, I'm lucky enough to have not heard AGR, so
Very lucky.
I don't
Oh,
know
you're
how much
blessed.
of that is
You're blessed.
true.
Oh,
Okay, but-
oh yeah, you've not heard
Yeah.
AJR. I've seen them live twice, bro.
Yeah, I have
I've heard one AJR song. I've heard the one that Rivers was on actually, and I hate it. It's terrible. I don't like it.
Yeah, remember when
Same,
Isaac
it's
said
all
in the
my
AJR song? Remember what Isaac said in the AJR concert? Fantano was wrong.
was wrong.
And Isaac was just screaming, Fantano was wrong! to Adam, Jack, and Ryan Met from AJR.
Yeah.
And he
Yup.
was hoping
I'm
that
gonna
they'd
go,
hear
I'm gonna
him.
go to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a Hobo Johnson concert and shout, "Fantano was wrong."
On
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Weezer. I actually, yeah, I quite liked it.
I loved it. I gave it an 8.
Like,
I won't lie.
I gave it a strong 7. I feel like if they kind of, I know it's a 30-minute album, but I feel like if they kind of trimmed a little bit more of it down,
Yeah.
then it'd be like a light 8 for me.
Yeah.
I
Like,
understand.
even though it's literally 30 minutes.
It is 30 minutes. But, you know, Weezer usually does like
I-
the 10-track
Yeah,
shit.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is their second shortest album, like above Green,
Now, what
Yeah.
about you,
because like
Kim?
Yeah,
I
Green's
thought it
pretty
was alright. I don't know if I'm gonna revisit it, but it wasn't unbearable like other.
What
Weezer
rating did you
albums.
give it, bitch?
I gave it a 7.
All right, I give it a 5.
good. Yikes. Okay, so
Yeah, fuck you.
Isaac
Yikers.
Isaac
Okay.
has the lowest rating for Weezer.
Yeah. All right, and you know what else I may?
that's a real shame.
You know what
It's a real
else I
shame.
may have the lowest rating on? Welfare Jazz by the Viagra
Oh
Boys.
god.
Now let me
I
give
didn't
you
listen to
another
this one.
story. Now let me give you another story, like I did with the Billy Cobb thing. Flashback, 2018. I got Sports in my recommended, the song by Viagra Boys.
Modern baseball.
And I fuck you. And I listened to Sports, and I commented on the video, and I remember this. I said, "This is like the Stooges and the Butthole Surfers. I love it." And I waited until the record released, and I listened to the record, and it was one of my favorites of 2018. Yeah, it was one of my favorites of 2018. And I waited a couple years, waited a little bit, having them in my back of my head every once in a while. I'd go revisit Streetworms or go revisit Sports. And then I found out they were gonna release an album, and I was like, cool, yeah, oh bass, nice. Then I listened to it. The album made me angry.
Pain.
The album
Malice
made
even.
me mad. And that doesn't happen that often. I don't get like visibly angry at music that much, but this album made me want to punch a hole in the wall.
Let's go.
Not just because of the quality, but because of how much they had fallen in 2 years. They went from making really cool post-punk type music and experimental like punk rock shit to going on and making 2 fucking country songs in a row. I don't want that. They ruined my day. I listened on that day. I listened to OK Human, and I listened to the Shame record, which we'll get onto next. And that record made me not listen to another record for the entire day. I turned on Blonde and went and laid down after I listened to that. And that's how you know I was down atrocious. Okay.
Isaac was nearly as down bad as I was listening to Facts Gang.
Facts. And that's why just like Addy, I gave that record a 2 out of fucking 10, and I will never listen to it again.
Okay.
Go on, Ryan. I'm taking
I
a
thought it was
breather.
kind of boring. Yeah, I didn't know Viagra Boys was a thing before
Same,
this album,
actually, yeah.
so I listened to it and I thought, like, the first track was pretty good.
Yeah, I gave that one
And
a
the rest
9.
of it was kind of boring. Then the last 2 tracks were shit.
I think those were my first 0 out of 10 songs of the year, because I keep track ratings, and I gave those songs both 0 out of 10.
Yeah, you keep track ratings in Notepad. Just use Rate Your Music.
No, bitch. I keep them in Notepad, my Notepad application. It's my tool. Okay, now what about you, Kim?
Well, just like Ryan, this is my first introduction to Viagra Boys, and the first thing I noticed was this is something I'd probably like and find in 2018, and say that I'll just put it with Fiddler and Waves. That was my vibe. But I just did not like how draining and dragging this record was. Especially that last fucking song. That outro was that was weird. And not in a good way.
Ketchup on our mashed potatoes.
Ketchup on a scrambled egg.
Ketchup on a scrambled eggs.
God.
Something about eggs being runny.
Yeah. Oh, God. That song... I wanted to climb to my roof. And attempt to do a Michael Phelps impression right onto the cold, hard, dense concrete.
Jeez.
After I listened to that song.
That last song has the same air, it has the same energy of Family Guy.
Yeah, it sounds like a Family Guy song.
It's like Family Guy trying to do an ironic take on something, but their definition of irony is just doing the same thing as they're doing, but with your eyebrows raised.
Yeah,
exactly. Actually, that's a good comparison.
It doesn't put any kind of interesting spin on the whole country thing. It doesn't have a fucked up twist to it. It's a country song.
Yeah.
With a distorted post punk backing.
Yeah.
And that is not good.
That's not a good thing. I don't like that. And I don't think his voice works for it.
I thought the lyrics were also really fucking cheesy.
See, that's the thing with the original record. The lyrics were bad, but I loved them just in the way that I can listen to Cheap Beer by Fiddler. And even though the lyrics kind of suck, I can be yeah, Fiddler, cool. I can do that, But with this record, all of that is just gone by the fact that all their instrumentation was just ass. It's they took all the genres they wanted, with the exception of Girls and Boys, which was a 10 out of 10 song. I love that song. And Ain't Nice, which was an amazing song as well. And they just threw it into a fucking garbage disposal. And they just came out. And they just ate the shit that came out of the garbage disposal, and then they shat that out, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, this is a shit that has the word country on it. Let's do that. Let's put this into our fucking music. Okay, let's do that." And it was just awful. It was disgusting. It was revolting.
Yeah, but it sucks because if Isaac, what you're saying about their first album is if their first album is as good as you're saying, then it's a real shame that they fell off so hard.
It is.
Speaking of shame.
Oh yeah, speaking of shame.
I listened to the first 2 tracks and then stopped, not because I was disinterested, but just because I stopped.
You just stopped. I respect that. Now let me talk about Shame for a second. I found them through their KXP performance a year or 2 ago. They reminded me of idols. I liked their music. I listened to their record. I was like, this is cool. This is I give it a like a 9, just 9, not 9.5, just 9 or something. And I enjoyed it. And then I waited for a little bit, and I didn't think they were actually going to release another album because it just took them so long. And then they released Drunk Tank Pink, and I was like, woo! And I checked it out, and it took everything that they did in the first record and just amplified it and just made it better. It was just like, it had a mix of like Gang of Four era post-punk type shit, and like the Fall, Robert E. Smith's like lyrical delivery and vocal like talk singing delivery. It took all the shit from like early 80s, late 70s UK post-punk, and it just mixed it with a little bit of hardcore, and it just works like perfectly. And it sounds like Idols, but more, more willing to break musical boundaries. Because, more willing to just, like, twist what you need to do to make a good record. And I think it works perfectly. Now on to you, Ryan. I give it a 9. I gave it a 9.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. I gave it an 8.
Yeah.
It's my second favorite album of this month behind You Know What.
It is mine too. It's my second favorite.
I really liked I haven't listened to Idols, so I don't really have any Idols comparisons to it. I thought it sounded quite a bit like certain moments on Black Midi's Schlagenheim.
Yeah, same.
And Schlagenheim's a great album as well. It sounded like that, but a bit more. What am I looking for? It sounds like Black Midi, but it's less likely to scare the hose.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I like that comparison quite a lot.
Play Black Midi in front of the hose, even if it scares them.
Like it sounds like Black Midi, but it's Black Midi, but like more 70s punk rock style.
Yeah.
It's still got that artsy kind of thing to it, but it's still very raw and energetic.
Yeah, it's really direct. It's like that's the one thing I really enjoy about the scene that's coming out of UK right now. The UK right now, it's all very direct. And it's all very just there. Here you are. If you enjoy it, you do. If you don't enjoy it, fuck off. It's very, like... It reminds me a lot of, like, what the Dead Kennedys and shit were doing in the 80s. It just reminds me a lot of that. And I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just good art punk. It's just good post-hardcore.
Yeah. Now on to you, Kim. Did you listen to it?
I have not.
Okay.
It does sound something
you should.
like
It's
I would
pretty
listen
good.
to.
Yeah. You gotta get on
Pretty
it.
great.
You gotta get on that. Now... We're going to talk about an album that one of our friends here in this podcast have made.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I wonder who it is.
We're talking about that?
Yup.
I thought we weren't going to talk about it because, Ryan's literally... Okay, we'll talk about that.
We're talking about it, bitch.
I can talk about that. I've listened to it.
You go first.
I'm just going to sink out of framing for a real second.
You go first. You go first, Addy. You go first.
I thought it was fire. I listened to it stoned out of my mind. I won't lie. I was so high when I listened to this album, and everybody who's listening to the podcast, I hate to go all stoner on you, but I'm going to go all stoner on you for a second. I listened to this after taking like 3 humongous rips, okay?
Yeah.
And it was setting in. I put my headphones on, these very headphones. I sank into the couch. And I listened to it, and it felt like I was being transported into that shit was insane. And I'm gonna be real. I don't remember a lot about my experience other than I felt like I was floating through space, and I was just, I was ascending. Essentially, it made me ascend, and I forgot that I was listening to my friend's music because it was so fire while I was ascending.
Yeah.
And then I finished it, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, my friend made this. Let me go tell them that it was okay.
Yeah.
Not okay. Let me go tell them it was good. But yeah, I liked it. I gave it a 9 without bias.
Yeah.
There was no bias involved, I swear to God.
No bias in mine either. Okay. And I gave the record an 8.5 out of 10. I think Waste Away, just to be 100% honest, Waste Away is my song of the year, if not even the decade so far. I'm not even going to lie to you. Waste Away, there are like 20 songs, in my opinion, that warrant being 12 minutes long. That is one of them. 12 plus. That is one of the songs out there that I think warrant being that long. And I think it was just a perfect for the majority of the record, with the exception of "I'm Okay, This Pile of Bricks Broke My Fall," which I really just didn't enjoy that much. Fuck you too, bitch. But for the majority of the record, it was just 8, 9, and 10 out of 10 songs. It was just really, really good for like the majority of it, and most of it was really like it was like shoegazy alt rock, like as shoegazy as alt rock can be, and some of them had more spacey like elements. Some of them even like the Burn Bridge had a little bit of like trip hop like feel, like the feel to it, and I really enjoyed that. I think the record, I described it as shoegaze, but for Smashing Pumpkins fans, and I think that kind of just like describes it in general. Now on to you, Kim.
I feel like since like Had to Be Dead's first album was in space, and it was about a relationship that our friend has gotten out of. This album feels like we just crashed from space. Like we're dealing with everything that's like that we put off for like a while, and I just really like how cathartic these lyrics are, and especially on the lyrical content on Fiction, and definitely Waste Away, which is phenomenal. And you could not tell me like how emotional this was to listen to on walks. I've listened to this like going around my neighborhood and like through the cold. Strangers is an amazing song, and it's really relatable. I'm really proud of like Ryan, how much work he put into this thing.
On God. On God,
this is very uncomfortable. Can I come up now?
Yeah. Okay. Now, Ryan, what are your thoughts on this How to Be Dead album? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Ryan.
It was very nuts.
Oh
no. No. All right.
It was very nuts listening to it.
I could make so much better.
And then
it was a very good listen.
Realizing at the very end, because I had forgotten who I was listening to.
Damn.
I was high out of my mind. And I finished it, and I was like, oh wait, my friend made that.
That's the one thing I search for. That is the one thing I search for when I listen to any of my friends' music. I search for it to make me forget that it's my friend's music.
For real.
And that's when it reaches like very, very good status for me.
Yeah,
if I give a friend's record like an 8.5 or higher, it means that like I forgot that this was a friend's artist, like a friend's music, and this could just be just anybody.
Once you can set aside, once you think it's good enough that you can set aside bias and judge it completely on its own, and
like it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
You did something. You made something.
You made something for sure.
You made something for sure. It's it definitely is waveforms.
Yeah, I gave it.
Definitely sounds.
Definitely.
I gave it a 9. I think.
Boom, boom, boom. I gave it an 8.5. How about you, Kim?
8.9.
Based.
All right, just call it.
Okay. Now let's talk. Let's talk about this. Didn't come out in January, but I have to mention it. Song of the Year: "Road Trip" by Dream.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Song of the Year.
I listened to it when it premiered, and god damn, it's horrible.
It made me mad.
Regardless of anybody's opinions on Dream, why could he not have just made a Minecraft parody?
Yeah,
everybody would have liked it if he made
better.
a Minecraft parody. Like, just make a Minecraft parody, or make a Minecraft song.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that Dream already made a terrible song, or the fact that George might be working on a mixtape.
Oh, that's gonna... Oh my god.
No.
I think I heard that somewhere.
No.
I don't know how true it is, though.
No.
I can't.
No.
The George Not Found mixtape,
Okay,
where he's just
what if it turns out to be
like,
fire? What if it turns out to...
Dream!
What if it turns out to be, like, incredibly
That's
inspired
his
and
producer tag.
well-influenced?
Yeah.
This is producer.
Oh, Dream is his producer tag.
Oh, Dream!
He produces a Kanye song, And it's just he produces a Kanye song, and it's just a dream.
That would be
And then
funny
dun
as
dun
hell.
dun 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 dun.
Wait, did I miss something? Discord kind of froze for me.
Uh, we're talking about George Not Found's producer tag being "Oh Dream."
No!
Yeah, I want it so much. It would be so funny.
And like,
Okay, I'm gonna have to go delete some stuff in Audacity after this because I think that kind of overlap. Because I was talking throughout that,
Yeah.
and I think I got to overlap.
oh, you're
it's
okay.
alright. It's cool.
I'll delete it. You don't have to worry.
All right, that's
Alright, cool, yeah.
That's the extent of albums. If I check, talked about OK Human. We talked about that's the extent of the albums I heard. So if there's any
Yeah.
other albums that
I've not listened to anything else.
anyone else,
Well, you
listening?
Isaac, you heard 5 albums, right?
Yeah, no, I heard 6. I heard
Okay.
6, and I mentioned 6.
Oh wait, what was the 6th one?
Lights at the end of tunnels by
Oh yeah.
by
Oh yeah, I had 10, so I've got a few more to
All
talk
right,
about.
talk about
Okay,
some
buddy.
more. Talk about some more.
All right, first of all, Isaac, I think you'd like this one. I don't know how to pronounce it. Takeisin by Radio Supernova. It's this pretty cool
Yeah.
It's Finnish for one thing, and it's shoegaze.
Oh,
so,
let's go.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
oh,
very
jumping in
by
the
the
air.
books.
Yeah.
It's just very by the books shoegaze.
Thanks.
It doesn't really do anything cool or unique with it, but you know, it's shoegaze,
Yeah.
stream pop, post punk. Sometimes that's all you really need.
Ringo Death Star does
Then
pretty
the-
by the book shoegaze, and they're like top 10 shoegaze bands for me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's the Bread Scientists,
Nice.
that's a bad band
Amidst
name.
Radiances,
Yeah.
which is pretty okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it's that one was pretty unique as well. It was like this electronic IDM shoegaze drum and bass dubstep drill and bass kind of thing.
Jesus
All right,
Christ.
you
It's
need to check that out.
4 songs split across. No, it's 30 minutes split across 4 songs, each of them about 7 or 8 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And each of them kind of goes through different phases that last about a minute to 2 minutes. It feels like a bunch of like beat tapes. It feels very unrefined and unpolished.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has a lot of potential to be really genuinely good. But for now I've given it like a 6 out of 10. It's probably worth listening to if you feel like it. But
All right.
yeah.
Any others? Any
Then
others?
there's that new Madlib album. That was okay.
That was okay. Anything
Sounds
else to
about
say
right.
about that?
Oh yeah, I think the last one that I listened to was Isles by Bicep, which is this cool kind of ambient techno future garage kind of thing.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It sounded like time lapse music, you know, music you put over like a Minecraft building
Yeah,
time
there
lapse.
we go.
But like it actually did go quite hard in places.
maybe I
So
maybe I need to
that's
check
probably
that
worth
out.
listening if you feel like it.
Yeah, maybe I need to check that.
And I'm pretty sure that's it, except for one album that I can't talk about.
Yeah. All right. Now, what about you? What about you, Kim? What about you, Kim?
Well, the last album I listened to was Arlo Parks'
Oh, I've not heard
Collapsed in
that.
Sunbeams. It was really good. Like, on the first few tracks, you would think it was just like some regular lo-fi folk kind of shit. But like kind of like how I recently started this weird phase of listening to like sad indie rock, indie folk woman. Like
Yeah,
this
that-
last
that's
month.
like that's your style right now. Your style is just women with guitar.
Yeah. Sad women with
who are
guitar.
sad.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed this, and some of these tracks have like really good queer like presentation and shit. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I don't really like lo-fi shit as much because like I actually like good music. Isaac is seething right now.
Oh boy, Isaac, that's Isaac. Isaac, for the sake of the bit, you just you fucked it up so bad. You're not supposed to hang up. I'm recording our 4 cameras, and you hung up, and then it just showed. You fucked it up. You fucked it
I'm
up so
back
hard.
now. I'm back now. Does it
Fuck you.
work? It works now, right?
Yes, it
Does
works.
it work now? Yeah, I'm winning. That was funny though. You
No.
you can't lie.
Nah,
Fuck you.
nah. For the sake of the
Fuck
bit,
you.
Bias.
nah, the bit wasn't good enough. Oh,
That's bias. That's bias.
yeah, it's biased for the one who has to edit this
Bitch.
shit, bro.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I'll just disconnect. I'll keep on disconnecting and reconnecting.
I'll just
You know,
make this
just like-
audio only. Test me, buddy.
No.
Test me.
All right. Well then, let's
But
talk
yeah.
about some releases. Let's talk about before we end this. Let's do a quick rundown of some releases at the very least, am excited for that came out yesterday, or we know are going to come out this month. Black Country New Road. I've been waiting for this record for like a year and a half. I
New
want
Foo
it so
Fighters.
much.
Just kidding.
Of course.
That's
Obviously.
Foo Fighters.
Let's go! Real rock and roll. Real rock and roll.
New Slow Tie is probably going to be pretty okay.
Oh yeah, new Slow
Oh
Tie.
yeah, new Slow Tie that comes out next week.
And new psychedelic porn trumpets. I'm pretty.
Psychedelic porn crumpets, let's go!
It came out yesterday, Ryan.
I know.
Yeah, bitch, listen to it.
I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't listened to it yet because of this.
Yeah, you have this podcast to stop me from listening to Black Country New Road on the day it released.
Yeah.
That's why I hate.
Also,
it.
Haley Williams. Haley Williams came out yesterday.
Oh, based. No, not really. I wouldn't know. Isaac's hating,
want
so
that.
it's probably okay.
I hate you.
So apparently Loather's releasing something soon.
Ooh,
So that should be hype.
I'm
See-
hyped for that.
Like in a couple of days.
See, you guys are hyped for
Then
this
there's,
and that, but you know what I'm hyped for?
What are you hyped for?
You guys
What
are
movie?
excited for, these albums. These albums. But I'm excited, and this isn't a joke, but I'm excited for something I know none of y'all are excited.
Is it Okay Orchestra?
Yep. Okay Orchestra
It's
by
coming
AJR.
out.
It's coming out in March.
Is that coming
Nope.
out? Is that coming out this?
It's coming out in March.
But
I am excited to listen to that
one.
And I'm excited for people to hate on it without listening to it.
Oh, I'm gonna
I mean,
listen
I'll listen
to it. I'm gonna
just because
cry.
like I want to keep up with more.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it this year. I'll listen to it because I want to keep up with more new releases this year.
I haven't touched AJR since The Click, and that was like 4 years ago.
The dick.
The Dick.
The
Yeah.
clit.
Yeah.
The Click.
But yeah, other than that, the only two releases that I know are happening in February that I'm excited for is Nothing Nowhere and King Gizzard.
Oh, King Gizzard. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, LW is coming out at the end of the month.
Let's go. I'm pumped for that. Though
Yeah.
KG wasn't. I gave it like a 5.
I gave
I
it like a
didn't
5.
I gave KG an 8.
I didn't like KG that much, if I remember correctly. Let me actually go through my new rating, see what I gave it. Actually, no, I gave it a 76. I don't know why I thought I gave it a fucking 5. I gave it a 7.5. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I think that's all. Addy.
I think that is it.
Yeah, appreciate that.
What about you, Kim? You excited for anything?
Not really.
That's
Just anything that comes up.
Kim's not happy.
I'm not happy with this year.
Kim is just
But-
not a happy camper.
Yeah, I believe that's all we have to discuss then.
Yeah, I think that is.
Well,
Awesome.
happy second episode, everybody. We're gonna try and get this out on
Happy
Saturday.
February.
Happy February.
Happy February.
Happy February.
Yeah, bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
See ya.